Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this episode we're going to be using lots of Spellbinder items to make a gorgeous Spellbinders Christmas card. So the first item that we're going to be using are the greenery stamps. We've used these previously and I'm going to be using the sentiment piece out of them. We're also going to be using this die, which is like a Brocade die. It just looks so fancy when it's die cut, and you can see from my die cut that we're going to use, it's just so ornate and so pretty, and I think this would look great as a repeat pattern on a card to show that damask brocade style, but we're going to use it slightly differently. So I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration if you've already got that die. Now this set of dies, this frames and inners, I think if you're having trouble with your sentiments and you want something a little bit fancier than the foundation tags that we've looked at before, these are going to make gorgeous sentiments, and you can use them in the two-step, you can use the underneath and then the inner section. We're going to use this one for our card today, but they're all gorgeous, so you know, you might want to add something like this to your crafty stash. Everything I do use I shall put in a detailed list on my blog. Please feel free to comment on my blog, or you can comment on Facebook. You can comment on YouTube. I can't reply to you on YouTube, so don't be thinking that I'm being rude and ignoring you. I do read all your messages and they're all brilliant, thank you very much. I love it that you enjoy what I do because I enjoy it so much. So I'm just happy that you like it, basically. So you can always comment on my blog or Facebook and I will get back to you, normally within a couple of days. So just sort of bear in mind the time difference and work and things like that. So the first thing that we're going to need is our base card. This is classed as a 6x6 card. It does run a little bit shorter than 6x6, but it's classed as a 6x6. So the first thing, as always, I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a good sharp crease along the edge. And we're going to use decorate the inside first. Now, this, I think, is one of the simplest but most effective insides I've ever made. And I hope you like it because I think it's so pretty and very easy. I've taken a square of white card that is nowhere near matching the white card base, but it's still just white card. I've taken the square of white card that fits the inside and I've die cut the centre of the card using this die here. So I've just basically die cut an aperture out of it, and then with my glue pen I've simply gone around the edge and added dots, waited for it to go transparent, and then I've added curled foil on the top. Now if you've got a mink machine you'd be able to do this with, you know, print your little dots and then put it through your mink machine, because I think it's the laser printer that you need, isn't it, for the mink. So you'd be able to do that if your computer handy, but I've used curl foil, so I've literally used a glue pen and then waited for it to turn in colour so that I can take the curl foil over it, and I've done that in all four corners just to add a little bit of sparkle. So I've got double-sided tape on the back of this, and we can add this to our card. So let's add that like so. There we go. Try and get it nice and straight. So that's the first step of our inner. Next, the piece that I actually did die cut, I've stamped the word piece from our rubber stamp set and I've stamped it in black, and then using my glue pen again I've gone round the edge and I've just added little dots dots, and then I've added coal foil on the top in gold that matches the edge of the card that we've already done. I've got double-sided tape on the back of it, and this is simply going to inlay into the section that we've die cut, like that. If you noticed, I just had tape through the centre because then these edges can just run free as they were, because then that gives it a little bit of life, but it will still fall flat. I think that is the quickest, most effective insert I've done for a very long time. And I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I really like that one. Right, now we can do the outside of our card, and let's hope we think it's as pretty at the end as we do the inside. So I've got a piece of backing paper, and this is backing paper. It's from a Dovecraft paper called Time to Sparkle, and it's literally just a diagonal stripe that's got a little bit of shimmer and shine in it. With the gold, you can just see that there. I've cut it just to fit the outside of my card, and I'm placing it through the centre to get our nice base layer. Next, I've got 4 of the Brocade die cuts. I've cut 2 in silver, 2 in gold, and 2 in white. And what I'm going to do is, I've got double-sided tape on the back of them, and I'm simply going to add them to the front of our card like so. And we're going to add 2 of the gold ones to either side. Now I know you're all shouting, oh, I can see your tape. I can see your tape. That's not very professional, Anne-Marie. Well, you're not going to see the tape when we've finished, so don't panic. So this was the easiest way I thought of to put the brocades on, because they're very fancy, and I just wanted something quick, a quick method. So that's our last one going on now, and I've just kind of arranged them around the centre like so. There we go. So now we've got 2 white ones and 2 gold ones on our card. So next we've got our die cut centre, and this is part of the die set, and then that's the second of the die set. Just checking I'm putting it on the right way around. Again, this is from the same paper pack, Time to Sparkle, and I'm going to pop that, I've got it on double-sided tape, I'm going to pop that through the centre of our card, covering all that unsightly tape that we really don't want to see. Press it down firmly. There we go. And then the second layer of the die that we used is, I've cut it out in white, and I've stamped the word peace like we did for the centre, and then I've done the glue dots trick around the edge with the gold foil, and again I've got it on double-sided tape, and that just sits nicely on top of that die. And then I can finish it off with a little bow. And now I've got to say, this was seam binding, and it was white, and I coloured it myself using ink pads, and it was on it was the ombre effect that I did a long time ago. And I know you're going to ask me the colours that I used, but I think it was something like spun sugar and the green, I can't think what the name is of the green one, but I shall put it on my blog. But that was hand coloured and I just thought that matched perfectly to our card with the colour tones. And that's our card finished. So it's such a pretty card and so easy and quick. It stands up nicely. It's got all that twinkle and shine on it that you've added with very little effort. So please check out my blog for there's so many other projects available out on there. If you've got anything to say, please feel free. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.